All right, welcome back to Final Boss Auto Hub. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. I wanted to give my opinion and have a real quick discussion about the Chevrolet C8 2025 ZR1. I wanted to really have a good conversation about this and maybe some debates. Let's get to it. All right. So as you know, the 2025 Corvette ZR1 has been breaking internet due to its groundbreaking technology, specs, and crazy numbers for the most part. Chevrolet reports that this car produces 1,064 horsepower at 7,000 RPM and 828 pounds of torque at 6,000 RPM, making it the most powerful V8 ever created and produced in America by an automaker. All right, let's go, Chevy. Those numbers is kind of crazy. Those numbers are crazy. I'm not going to lie. It's already starting to sound kind of crazy. Let's keep going. So now, in terms of performance, this car does 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds. Ooh. Okay. All right. That's kind of crazy. That's up there. And the top speed of 233 miles per hour. Oh shit. I have to take my glasses off for that one. Wow. Chevy, that's what we doing? 233 miles per hour, Chevy? That's what we doing? 2.5 seconds to 60? Oh my God. Wow. Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about this. And you know, Chevrolet pretty much benchmarked the Ferrari SF90 and the Porsche 911 GT2 RS while creating this car. I guess they was trying to see if they can get something or make something that can pretty much outperform or perform similarly to these cars, since they were like highly raved about when they came out. Let's get to it. My opinion. This is a budget hypercar. It's a budget hypercar. And I'm not trying to hear anything. Matter of fact, let's debate that. When this video come out, please debate me. But I think this 2025 Chevrolet ZR1 is a budget hypercar. I mean, when you compare the specs and the performance to some of the most popular hypercar manufacturers, the ZR1 can hold its own, putting out numbers similar or close to those cars. I mean, if you want to keep going, let's cut the lights on. Let's start the segment. Let's cut the lights on. Let's get into it. The Aston Martin Valkyrie is perceived as a hypercar, right? It's one of Britain's greatest innovative vehicles that they ever created in the last decade. That thing has, 6.5 liter V12 motor that revs up to 11,000 RPM, and it delivers, 1,140 horsepower for 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds and a top speed of 220 miles per hour. This thing has more horsepower than the Corvette, but the Corvette outperforms it. It has a similar 0 to 60 time and is faster than it in terms of the top speed. And this is considered, the Aston Martin is considered a hypercar. So you telling me this is not in hypercar realms? This is outrageous. I mean, let's keep it going and take it up another stop. What, a Mercedes AMG 1, right? Has 566 horsepower at 9,000 RPM, and it goes 0 to 62 in 2.9 seconds, and the speed stands at 219 miles per hour in terms of top speed. That's crazy. The Corvette outperforms it in every realm. Has more horsepower, 0 to 60 time is better, and has a better top speed in it. I mean, I could keep going. Nah, F it. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. The Bugatti Chiron, or Chiron, however you guys pronounce it. No disrespect. but I hope I actually pronounced it the correct way. But this car has 1,578 horsepower, 1,578. Yeah, the Corvette is not messing with this car. It's not even in the same realms. This car has a top speed of over 300 miles per hour. It goes 304 to be exact. I mean, the Chevy is not performing like this car, but when you look at the numbers in terms of horsepower, speed, it's kind of far, but it's in the same realms. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Bugatti and Koenigsegg are just in their own class. These guys are producing some of the most powerful vehicles ever assembled. So to kind of compare this vehicle to a Bugatti and Koenigsegg is kind of unfair, but when you're looking at the numbers, it's in the realm. It's not too far, but it's in the realm. A Rimac Navara. This is another super hypercar. It has 1,888 horsepower and 1,695 pound-feet of torque. This is outrageous. I mean, the Corvette is not performing like that. It goes to 0 to 62 in 1.9 seconds. That's like you in Back to the Future with Michael J. Fox, and you going through the time equilibrium, just That's crazy. The top speed of 258 miles per hour. Wow. But when you look at the numbers, the Corvette goes a top speed of 233 miles per hour. That's crazy. It's not too far from it. So I could keep going with the list of hypercars here, and we can continuously compare these numbers. And if y'all want me to do that, we can definitely do that. But when you really think about it, let's look at the design language. This car is a mid-engine car. Most hypercars and supercars, are mid-engine. Chevy decided to do that for this generation of the C8s. It's mid-engine, so it already hits that criteria. Then you're talking about all the turbos connected to it. They got two big-ass turbos, some of the biggest turbos you ever heard of connected to it. You look at the specs of the car in terms of its performance. 2.5 seconds to 60, 233 miles per hour. And this is like Chevrolet's first true run at doing something this outrageous. And they're already in the realms competing with the other well-known hypercar and supercar manufacturers out there. Like, this car is legit, and more than likely it's probably reliable. If it's anything, Chevy can build a bulletproof ass V8, and we all know that. Their V8 engines, crate engines, are selling all over the place, and people are doing resto-mods and restorations of different vehicles. So the reliability might be pretty solid. I mean, and then when you get to the price, I didn't even discuss the price yet. The price for this car starts at $180,000 and maxes out at $205,000. So you mean to tell me I can go buy something that's more than likely faster than most Lamborghinis, or compete with most Ferraris, something that's almost in the hypercar, if not hypercar range, because it's competing with some of the biggest hypercar manufacturers I just named out there, for $180,000. If I'm a person that might have done a little bit well for themselves, or was able to move a little bit of stocks here and there, or just got my shit together, I can pretty much go buy something that's a legit budget hypercar. It's outrageous. And I know the real car enthusiast is probably going to be out there like, Final Boss, you talk too much, you talking too crazy, you don't even sound like a car enthusiast saying some shit like that the Corvette is a budget hypercar, blah, blah, it's a muscle car, da, da, da. Then argue with me. Let's have this debate, because you cannot sit here and say the specs of this car does not meet the specs of a hypercar. It's very hard. And if you want to go back and just use Chevrolet's lineage and be like, oh, well, they're just always been a muscle car or sport car. Dude, this thing is outrageous. And I'm actually here for it. I'm glad that Chevy is actually taking this route and doing something like this. I mean, Dodge went and balls to the wall couple years ago and was going crazy with the Hellcats and the Elephant engines and demons and stuff like that. I think with Chevy doing this might start another horsepower war, or possibly, start a little bit of tension between Ford, Chevy again, Dodge, and other American automakers to kind of push the envelope a little bit, put their engineers to the test and see what they can create. I hope another Viper comes from this. I hope another Viper comes from this. I hope Ford develops another GT from this. I hope Chevy continues to explore this realm, because they clearly look like they're good at it. And I'm all here for it. And Chevy, if you were looking for somebody that can review your car and give an unbiased opinion, especially in the urban area, holler at your boy. I'll do it for a couple hours. I'll do it, and I'll be fairly unbiased. I'll record the whole thing. I'll make sure there's a lot of cameras around, get different angles, talk about the design language, talk about the power, talk about how I experienced it, talk about how it was driving in the city, how it did in traffic. Shameless plug, it's worth a try, right? I doubt anybody from Chevy sees this, but it would be fun if they reached out. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for actually tuning in for my little TED Talk. Had a quick discussion about what the Chevy is and what they're doing, and how the ZR1 is kind of taking the car world through the storm right now, and they're going crazy. Thank you for tuning in. Like, subscribe, comment. Let's debate. I want to debate this. If you put something in, I'm a dead ass debate you. So I want to debate this. Let me know. Final Boss out.